Hi guys, it's Karen. Welcome to another video today. I remember that a while back I saw Samantha March posting a video regarding her favorite palettes from each brand she owned, and I thought to do the same. So I picked up the brands that I love, the brands that I own, and I picked my favorite palette from each brand. And well, I have, I think, two brands that I have only one palette, but it is still my favorite. So let's go over the list. I have them here in a pile, so I'll start with the smallest to the largest, so just because it's easier for me. First brand is Essence, and I chose this palette, the Nude Edition, one of my favorite palettes ever from Essence. Look at this beautiful thing. And okay, now you can focus. You have a dark brown, and you have these beautiful shimmers here as well, and you have a light shade for the tear dot or below the brow. You have a large variety of colors to choose from, and they have a good quality for a drugstore brand. Really good quality. The shimmers are beautiful, the mattes are pigmented, and I love this palette so much. And it's affordable, which is double the gain. So you have affordable and beautiful in the same time. That's perfect in my book. Okay, next up I have from Colourpop. Now I have a lot of palettes from Colourpop. Well, I guess there are YouTubers that have more than I do, but take into consideration that I buy all my palettes. I don't get any PR, I'm too small, and I don't get any PR, so I buy all the palettes in my own money. So I chose Lilac You a lot by Colourpop, one of the first that I bought. I don't remember, I think maybe over a year ago, and this is one of my, it was very hard to choose, very hard to choose, but I chose this palette at the end because I love it so much. I love the purples and the pinks and this beautiful mauvey purpley shade, and the shimmers are extraordinary, and I can create a lot of looks using this palette. This is one, well, this is my favorite palette. It was really hard to choose. It was the Liberating versus Sweet Talk, which is one of my favorite as well, but eventually I chose Lilac You a lot. Very versatile, I can create a lot of looks, and I love purples and I love pinks, so no brainer really to choose that, even though I have to say it was very hard. I really wanted to choose the Child, which is a relatively new palette in my collection, and I was deliberating, but I chose this one because I have it for a long time and I reach for it a lot. Next up is Focallure, and I chose the Perth palette. This is one of my first palettes I think I showed on my channel. This is the Focallure, and I love the, well, this one is not such a great shade because it's too glittery and I don't like it, but these are amazing shades, and you have a lot of versatility. You can use this for the crease, you can create a brown nudie look, you can have a pop of color. Perfect palette, and it's also very small, so once we'll travel again we can take it to traveling. And as I said, you have color. If you want to use a colorful look, you can create a colorful look, you can create a nude look. You have this beautiful white shaded here for the tear dot or under the eyebrow, which makes this palette perfect. This is my favorite palette from Focallure. I have to say that I've neglected them. I haven't been to their website to see if they have anything new. I think they kind of flowing under the radar. They are a good company. Next up is Zoeva, and this is, I think, one of my oldest palettes. I have, this is called Cocoa Blend. I have it prior to being on YouTube, so it's a very long time. And this is a perfect palette, and I created a lot of looks, and you can see my favorite shades are this bronzy color, this purple color, and this beautiful blueberry color, but I also like these nudie colors here. And I think this is a very good palette. This is the only Zoeva palette that I have, but I love it. I love it. I think it's beautiful. It has this very dark black here, and you have this black with glitters here, which is also a beautiful shade, and the white, which, as I said, is good for the tear dot or under the brow, which is perfect. Next up, Anastasia Beverly Hills, and this was a no-brainer. Really, it was. Soft Glam. Of course, I will pick Soft Glam. This is a favorite palette of mine. You can see I hit pan in this beautiful shade. This is called the rose pink, but one of my favorite palettes, one of my first palettes. I think Zoeva was first and this one was second. I'm not really sure. I remember that my husband bought it for me when he was in Sicily, so a long time ago, a lot prior than Corona. This burgundy shade, these nudie browns, these beautiful pinks, and the gold, and you have another gold up here, and there is a brush. I'm not a huge fan of the brush, but perfect palette by Anastasia. Okay, next up is by BH Cosmetics, and if you're following me, then I'm sure you know which palette I'm going to choose. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you can't see. Love in London for sure. This is a beautiful palette, and it reminds me of London, which was the last city I visited prior to Corona. So nostalgia and beautiful shades and beautiful formula. The shimmers are, it's reflecting the light. The shimmers are to die for, really, and I can create so many beautiful looks. Look at these beautiful blues and these beautiful pinks in this row, and you have nudes, and you have the pearly color here, and you have a dark black here, and a mauvey shades. A lot of different looks that I can create with this shadow, and I love BH, one of my favorite brands. Next up, it's also first and only palette that I have from Juvia's Place. I didn't have a chance to buy more palettes from Juvia's Place. I really wanted the Nomad, but every time I want to pick it up, it was not in stock, so I didn't buy anything else from Juvia's Place. But this palette is perfect, and I love it so much. Look at these gray colors here, and these beautiful coral colors, and you have a dark shaded brown here and a metallic brown here, and you have this color, which is a corally shimmery color, and a light gray, which can go to the tear dot and under your brow. Perfect palette. So my first palette from Juvia's Place, but not the last. I plan to purchase more in 2021, that's for sure. And I kept the casing. I don't know why, but kind of like keeping cases. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Okay, next up is from Revolution. This is Revolution Pro, new natural blushed palette, relatively a new palette that I have by Revolution. I got it, I think, at the end of 2020. Yep. And this is it, and look what a beautiful shade. And it doesn't have the popular scent of Revolution. It doesn't have a scent at all, which is perfect for me, and I can create lots of looks using this palette. Look at these beautiful pinks, movie shades here, and coral color, and this beautiful it's kind of purpley shades, and you have this dark turquoise color, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, yes. And you have this shimmer here, which is magnificent, and really, and the white of course is important. I create a lot of looks using this palette, and there's a beautiful mirror, so perfect palette. And it doesn't have a scent, which is for me a blessing. I don't like scented eyeshadow palettes. I find that over time the scent just gets disgusting. Okay, next up is also the only palette that I have, but it's the only palette the brand has. So the brand is Awb Makeup, and this is the Game Changer. This is the only palette that the brand created, and this is a magnificent palette, and I love this shade the most. This is called Lit, and it lights up my eye, and I'm in love with this shade. But you know, you can create so many looks. Look at these neutrals here, and you have the movie pink here, and you have colorful. If you want to create a colorful look, you can use a turquoise, which is amazing, and this purple shade, which is also amazing, and this one, you know, I love this color as well. It's I don't know, it's not a brown. I have to show this to you. It's really, really pretty. It's a bronzy brown. I don't know how to explain it, but okay, yeah, it's not focusing now. Okay, you can see. It's a beautiful brown, bronzy color, and there's a dark black here, and this color, or this one for the inner corner. Perfect formula. Very, very pigmented. The shimmers are very, it's like butter. They're buttery, and it's very easy to use them, and they are beautiful on the lid. So this one was Awb. Next up is Ofra, and from Ofra I have just two big palettes. This is the Boho Palette, and this is how it looks like. You can see that I love it because it's so dirty. And this is not just eyeshadow palette, but this is one of my favorite palettes by Ofra. I have another one just big as this one, but different shades, and I love the eyeshadows here. They are so beautiful. Look at them. You have this brown here, and orangey and bronzy shade here, and a bronzy shimmery brown, and beautiful shades, and I love it so much. There was a time that I used only this palette. I didn't use anything else, just this palette for the eyes and the face and the eyebrows. Just perfect. And last but not least, I have a palette by Beauty Bay. I have two palettes by Beauty Bay. This is the one that I chose. This is a collaboration with Nikki Tutorials, and the look today is with the Nikki Tutorials palette, and this is it. This is the gorgeous palette by Nikki Tutorials. There's all the fallout from the matte, so take this under consideration when you use it. Oh, and also from the shimmer, I learned today when applying this makeup that this Mama Tutorials, which is the shimmer, has a lot of fallout, so be careful when you use it. But other than that, this is such a perfect palette. This is the first palette I used the red ever in my life. I created a red look, and I used this palette, which is this shade, is just perfect. And okay, and look at this beautiful shade here, which is kind of a silvery shade, and this color here, and the olive shade here, which is perfect. And you have this pink color here. Well, I love all the shades, I really do. All the shades are perfect and I love this palette a lot. There are mirrors here. I don't use them, and it's very hard for me to show the palette to the camera when there are mirrors here, so I just hide them, but they are very good mirrors. One is a regular and one is an enlarging mirror, so it is perfect. If you can get a hand on this palette, I highly recommend. Well, this is it. This is my favorite palettes from the brands that I own. So thank you, Samantha, for doing this video and inspiring me to do the same. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Look at this beautiful nail polish. I'm in love in this color. Should have done an eye look mimicking this color. This is perfect. Okay, maybe next time. Okay, so I enjoy making this video. If you enjoyed as well, don't forget thumbs up. I know I already said it, but thumbs up, so I'll know that you like it. And if you have a recommendation for me for a new palette that maybe will be interested in, let me know in the comment section down below. Bye for now, and I'll catch you all in my next video. Bye.